Good morning. Today I will once again discuss chapter number 3, and from chapter number 3 I will discuss two topics today. Number 1, Munda rebellion of 1899 to 1900, and another topic from chapter number 3, that is Sannyasi and Faqir rebellion of 1763 to 1800 AD. Now let us discuss Munda rebellion. I have written some term which is used in Munda rebellion. That is number 1, Ulgulam, U-L-G-U-L-A-M, Ulgulam. What is this Ulgulam? If you see the previous year question of Madhyamik in 2007, one question is asked from here. One question is there that what is meant by Ulgulam in 2007 for 1 marks. So answer is that Ulgulam means great revolt, great disturbance, and we use this Ulgulam with Munda rebellion. That means Munda rebellion can be said Munda Ulgulam. That means Munda rebellion. You all know very well that in my previous class when I was discussing Santhal rebellion when I was discussing of 1855-56, at that time I had used a term Hool. Hool is attached with Santhal rebellion. Likewise, Ulgulam is attached with Munda rebellion. Now, next, Bait Begari. What is Bait Begari? Question may be asked to you that what do you mean by Bait Begari? Bait Begari means forced labor without paying any wages. Mundas were forced to do labor, that is forced labor without paying any wages. That is known as Bait Begari. After that, Khut Kathi is the collective ownership over the property by the ancestors. Collective ownership of the Mundas over the lands of the ancestors of Munda. Once again I am repeating. Khut Kathi, important question, it may be asked for one question. Khut Kathi means collective ownership by the Munda over the land of their ancestors. Okay? After that, Arkatiyas. See another term, Arkatiyas, A-R-K-A-T-I-S, Arkatiyas. Arkatiyas means that the contractor, middlemen, they used to buy the girls from weekly heart. Those girls were employed in mines, in plantation, and so on. They were known as Arkatiyas. This question may be asked to you for 1 marks, Arkatiya. After that, Diku. Dikus is an old term. I have been using it in almost every topic of chapter number 3. Dikus means outsiders. After that, when the Munda rebellion started, so Birsa Munda was the main leader. Birsa Munda, when the Munda rebellion started in the year 1900, so we see that Birsa Munda had a general commander. His name is Gaya Munda. Okay. After that, when the Munda movement started, the Munda rebellion started, it spread like wildfire in different areas. The name of the places are Basia, Bunda, Chakradarpur, Kara, Tamar, Tarpa, Ranchi. In these areas, the rebellion spread like wildfire. One more information I would like to provide you before discussing about Birsa Munda 1874 to 1900. One information that is to be noted, that is Munda rebellion of 1899-1900. This was the second rebellion. The first phase of the rebellion started in 1890 to 1895. But this first phase of the Munda rebellion was failure, and the first phase of the Munda rebellion was started under the leadership of Birsa Munda. Birsa Munda was failure, okay, but we will not discuss about Birsa Munda. As I have already told you, the Birsa Munda, the period of Birsa Munda, he was born in the year 1874 in a village, Uli Hatu. He was born at a village named Uli Hatu. That village is situated in Ranchi. Afterwards, his parents were sharecropper, or he belonged to a family of sharecropper. After that, he had got his early education in village, primary education from village school, and to get the higher education, he got himself admitted to the upper primary school, and he completed his primary education at the age of 10 or 12. At the age of 10 or 12, when he finished his primary education, then he had taken admission in upper primary school. That school was run by Christian missionary, German Christian missionary. That was a missionary school where he got himself admitted for the upper primary. Okay, that school was run by German missionary. After getting his education, he was highly influenced by the Christian missionary, and in result, he embraced the Christianity. He embraced the Christianity, but later on, he realized his mistake, and once again he had returned. Once again he had returned to his original religion. After that, it is said that in the year 1895, he had claimed for the revelation of God on him. He claimed to have got revelation of God. Okay, revelation of God. That means divine power he had claimed to God. Divine power he claimed to get. After that, after getting the divine power or the power from God, he claimed or he called himself Dharti Baba. Question may be asked to you in exam. Who was called Dharti Baba? Okay, Dharti Baba means father of earth. It was Birsa Munda, Dharti Baba. After proclaiming himself Dharti Baba, okay, he had, we can say that so-called he had founded a religion. So-called he founded a religion, and that religion, in that religion, he used to worship sun god, and in Mundi language, the sun god was called Singh Boga, S-I-N-G, Singh Boga, B-O-U-G. I have written here, you may note down. Singh Boga. Singh Boga, that means sun god. Sun god or Birsa Munda adorned or worshipped sun god or the so-called new religion, and the followers, they used to follow Singh Boga or the sun god. The ideology of his religion was self-purification, love, united prayer. This was the principle of Munda, Birsa Munda. Self-purification, love and united prayer. Okay, after that, we see that, as I have already told you, he claimed to have got the divine power. He proclaimed himself as God, and he had got a charismatic power. That charismatic power, that his healing power he had got. You all know Jesus Christ, he got the power of making the dead men alive. And here, Birsa Munda, he got the healing power. If he used to touch anyone, any diseased person, any sick person, so that person, they recovered from their disease or from their fever or from their sickness. Okay, that healing power he had got. So the people of his area, the Mundas especially, they had imposed heavy or high faith in him on Birsa Munda. Okay, after that, people used to, follow him. People used to follow him as God. Okay, as God. And now, as I've already told you, that the first phase of the Munda rebellion started in the year 1890 to 95. In this period, or during this period, or between this period, Mundas were defeated. Okay, so now Birsa Munda now was determined to start the Munda rebellion for the second phase. So at night, in the pitch dark of night, he used to visit the house of the Mundas and told them to get ready for the rebellion. And he did not go alone. His followers were also there, because he did not like the interference of the colonial government in the area of Mundas. We will discuss about it later. Anyway, so he had preached that golden age of the Mundas would once again come, when he proclaimed himself as God. He proclaimed to have got divine power. So he preached that golden age would come, and that golden age would come when we would drive out the Dikus or foreigners, Dikus or outsiders from our region, from our area, from our territory. Okay, for that he predicted that golden age would come, and to have got golden age, to restore golden age, revolution or rebellion was important. After that, we will discuss that when the Munda rebellion started, so Mundas were defeated under the leadership of Birsa Munda on 9th January 1900. 9th January 1900, Birsa Munda was defeated, and on 3rd February 1900, Birsa Munda was jailed, and on 2nd June 1900, Birsa Munda died in the jail of Ranchi because of cholera at the age of 26 years old. This is a biography of Munda. I have told you in very nutshell, in very brief. After that, another question arises here. What were the causes of the Munda rebellion, that is of 1899-1900? In our syllabus, 1899 to 1900, this particular topic of Munda rebellion is incorporated and included in our syllabus. Anyway, now let us discuss about the causes. Causes we will discuss. Number one, we will see Kutkati. About Kutkati we have discussed that collective ownership, Munda's collective ownership over the land of their ancestors, collective ownership over the land by the Mundas of their ancestors. Okay, but British government, or after the establishment of the colonial government or British government, they did not approve the Kutkati system. British government told them to have or to possess or to claim for the individual property, not collective property. Okay, Kutkati had a collective ownership, but British government or colonial government told to change the rule or the system from Kutkati to individual ownership over the land. Okay, which was not like It was unusual or unnecessary interference in the conventional system or laws of the Mundas by disturbing the Kutkati system. So it triggered the rebellion. This became the number one cause. Number second, arrival of Dikus. I have already discussed about it. I'm not going to discuss any more about it. Arrival of the outsiders when they entered into the territory of the Diku, Munda region. They did not like it and they opposed it. After that, disregarding the conventional laws of Mundas, as I've already told you just now, Kutkati system, collective ownership. But British government said that no, we would not approve the collective ownership. We would sanction only individual ownership. This was not only the one case. Innumerable cases were there where the British government interfered, poked their nose in the laws, in the existing laws, in the conventional laws of the Mundas. Conventional laws of Mundas. Like example could be said that they entered initially the Mundas, they did not have to pay the revenue over the land, but nowadays after the establishment of the colonial government, they were asked to pay the revenue. Another system, as I have already told you, Kutkati system. That means these were the unnecessary involvement or interference of the Mundas conventional laws. That also caused the Munda rebellion. After that, we will see the Bed Begari, forced labor without any wages. Bed Begari, forced labor. Question I have already told you. Question may be asked to you that what do you mean by Bed Begari? So the answer is that forced labor without any wages. So the Dikus forced the Mundas to accept Bed Begari, forced labor without any wages. So it was unnatural. It was injustice on the part of the Mundas or on the rights of the Mundas. So ultimately what happened? That the Mundas revolted. They resented. They resented under the leadership of Birsa Munda. After that, common cause, Christian missionary or propagation of the Christian missionaries. You all will write down about it. After that, results. In results, what will we see? That one historian is there, Professor Narahari Kaviraj. He was a great scholar on the peasant and tribal revolt. Peasant and tribal revolt. He especially had written a book on peasants and tribal movement and rebellion. What he said, that Munda rebellion was a truly peasant revolt. It was a peasant revolt, a truly peasant revolt. Who called it? Professor Narahari Kaviraj. After that, number 2, if we go to see the result, that Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act of 1908 was introduced. I have already told you that on 9th January 1900, Birsa Munda was defeated. And after that, on 3rd February 1900, he was jailed, and on 2nd June 1900, he died in Ranchi jail because of cholera. So it was a failure. This Munda rebellion was a failure. But in spite of that, it had impact. It had its results. Second result, you will see that the British government was compelled to introduce Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act of 1908. What is this? That means British government, by the Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act of 1908, government accepted the Kutkati. That means Kutkati means collective ownership of the Mundas over their ancestors' land. British government accepted it. British government earlier, which became the important cause for the Munda rebellion, that British government claimed or forced them or imposed on the Mundas to accept the individual ownership. But by the Nagpur Tenancy, by the Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act of 1908, British government had given them release by accepting the Khudkati system. Okay, by Khudkati system, and Bait Begari, forced labor without wages, was also abolished. Because it was the violation of the human rights. So Bait Begari was also abolished by the Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act of 1908. It's very important. Question may be asked you. What was the feature of the Chota Nagpur Tenancy Act of 1908? I've seen this question in model question. After that, number 2, establishment of Munda state. Munda state was established. In Munda state, where the rules and regulation of the Mundas, traditional laws was once again introduced in Munda state. Okay, no external or no Dikus could enter there. All these facilities were given after the establishment of the Munda states. Next, very important, that Birsa Munda proclaimed himself as God. Okay, so one community was there, Birsa community. Birsa community adorned Birsa Munda as God. Adorned Birsa Munda as God. Adorned Birsa Munda as God. This is one result. After that, characteristics. In characteristics, we will see it was anti-colonial revolt. You can write on tribal struggle. It was a tribal struggle. Why? Because Mundas were the tribal people, and the revolt which was started, or rebellion which was started, or Ulgalam which was started, it was tribal Ulgalam or tribal struggle. Number 3, guerrilla war tactics. They had applied the guerrilla war tactics because when the rebellion started, or we can say that when Ulgalam was started by the Mundas, they could not face the British government or British soldiers, because who were equipped with modern weapons, and the poor Mundas, they were equipped with conventional or traditional weapons, so they could not face them. So ultimately they had accepted the guerrilla war tactics. That is also not new. In my previous videos I have discussed about guerrilla war tactics. Revivalist movement. It was also a revivalist movement. Why it was a revivalist movement? Because Khudkati system, Bait Begari system, Khudkati system, they disturbed, British government disturbed the conventional system of the Mundas. Okay, but Mundas resisted it, resented it, rebelled against it. So it was a why for the revival of their rights, revival of their Munda conventional systems. That is why we can say it a revivalist movement. So what we have discussed here, we have the Seen Ulgalam, Bait Begari, Khudkati system, Arkatiyas, Dikus, all these things we have seen. Plus we also discuss about Birsa Munda, whose period 1874 to 1900, his biography we discussed, plus causes we have seen, and plus we have seen results and characteristics. And one question I've already told you that appeared in 2017, what is meant by Ulgalam? What is meant by Ulgalam? I've also told the answer afterwards. Now come to Sannyasi and Fakir rebellion, period 1763-1800. Actually, if you calculate this 1763 to 1800, it comes to 37 years. Okay, but it was this movement continued for 40 years. We can approx almost it was 40 years. Okay, so one question arises here, few terms is used. Sannyasi and Fakir. What is sannyasi? Actually, sannyasi, they belong to Advaita. Advaita is school of 14th century. Advaita is school of 18th century. Advaita is school of 18th century. It was founded, Advaita school was founded by Shankaracharya 1000 years before. Advaita school was founded by Shankaracharya 1000 years before. Okay, so the sannyasi belong to Advaita school. Okay, so when the sannyasi and Fakir rebellion started, So these sannyasi and fakir were not only the participants. Other sannyasi or other monks or other sages of Giri, Gosan, Naga of North Bengal and Maman Singha also participated in Sannyasi and Fakir rebellion of 1763-1800. Okay, after that another term, Fakir. Okay, Fakir means mendicants. Okay, Fakir means Pagalpanthi, we discussed yesterday. Okay, they were the mendicants, they were the beggars. So Fakir here, mendicants, beggar. Okay, but here the meaning of the term Fakir is, they were also known as, Fakir was also known as Madari Fakir. Madari Fakir, they were also known as Madari Fakir. And they were the descendants of Shahe Madar. This Madari Fakir or Fakirs were the descendants of Shahe Madar. Shahe Madar was an important figure of 14th century. Why? Because Shahe Madar had introduced the Sufi order in India. Shahe Madar, the followers, his followers were Madari Fakir or Fakir. Okay, so Shahe Madar was an important important personality. He founded in 14th century Sufi order in India. Okay, we will discuss about Sannyasi and Fakir in details. We will discuss now places where the rebellion is spread. Fakir and Sannyasi rebellion is spread in different areas. These areas you may be asked to you in map pointing. One more thing I would like to tell you, that from chapter number 3 we see that in Madhyamik exam 4 map pointings are asked. Okay, I have seen previous year or your a question of Madhyamik from 2017 to 2000, from at least 2 or maximum 3 questions of map pointing come from chapter number 3. So question may be asked that map pointing would be given. Now centers of the Sannyasi or Fakir rebellion, the centers of places: Bagaura, Cooch Bihar, Dhaka, Dinajpur, Faridpur, Malda, Maman Singha and Rangpur. These were the areas where the Fakir or Sannyasi rebellion started. Okay, or it is spread in fact. Who were the important leaders? Leaders were Bhagwani Pathak, Chirag Ali, Devi Chaudrani. Yes, one question. Actually, in 2019, I think. In 2019, one question appeared that in MCQ, who was the leader of Sannyasi and Fakir rebellion? So 4 options are there. Out of these 4 options, one option is Devi Chaudrani, and Devi Chaudrani is also a novel of Bankim Chandra Chatterjee or Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. He was highly influenced by the Sannyasi and Fakir rebellion and he had written many dramas, but out of his many dramas, 2 dramas are very important: Anand Mat and Devi Chaudrani. Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, he was highly influenced by the Sannyasi and Fakir rebellion and had extracted or given a place, Devi Chaudrani. Okay, given a place, the name of his novel was Devi Chaudrani, and Devi Chaudrani was an important leader of the Sannyasi and Fakir rebellion. So, question in 2019: who was the leader of the Sannyasi and Fakir rebellion? Out of 4 options, Devi Chaudrani is also there. Devi Chaudrani is the right answer. This question appeared in Madhyamik examination 2019. Afterwards, Manju Shah and Musa Shah, they were the important leaders of Sannyasi and Fakir rebellion. Afterwards, causes if we go to discuss. Actually, now before discussing about the causes, we will see about Sannyasi and Fakir. Actually, Sannyasi and Fakir, they used to loiter here and there. in the search of work, they used to sometime pass their time, pass their lives by or on the alms given by the people, charity given by the people. They used to wear the garb of mendicants. Okay, they also involved in doing trade and commerce from one place to another place. Okay, they also used to do the trade and commerce from one place to another place. They were not settled tribe, sannyasi and fakir. They used to loiter here and there. Okay, and we will also discuss that 1770s famine of Bengal. Okay, 1770s famine of Bengal is very important. Actually, this sannyasi and fakir rebellion, we can distribute, or we can categorize it into two parts: sannyasi and fakir rebellion before 1770 and sannyasi and fakir rebellion after 1770. After 1770. So before 1770, they used to loiter here and there. When the English government restricted their movement, their loitering here and there. Okay, so what they did, they began to loot the killas, loot the markets, loot the houses of the British officials and all that. Okay, loot the officials of the British officials. And one more thing about sannyasi and fakir. Okay, they used to carry weapon with them. And they also realized that to protect their religion, sannyasi and fakir, this is the opinion of the sannyasi and fakir, to protect their religions, the training of the arms, using the arms, operation of the arms, okay, how to operate the arms and ammunition, that training they also got, because they realized it was important for the protection for their religion. Sannyasi and fakirs, what they realized. Okay, so they had a multi-dimensional features, we can say. After that, causes. Now come to the causes. What were the causes of the sannyasi and fakir rebellion? Number one, companies changing revenue system. As I've already told you that after the Battle of Plassey, I've already discussed, after the Battle of Plassey, government had introduced many revenue systems. So a company did not exempt the sannyasi and fakir, because they also used to do cultivation in the small places. They also on a small land, they also do trade and commerce. Okay, so what happened, that company asked them, British government